Starting your career at 35 with a $55,000 salary, $80,000 in student loans, and a minimalist lifestyle. Let's say you spent your 20s and early 30s in circumstances that did not allow for any savings or investments. You spent years in college on student loans and do not have much to show for it. One day, you wake up and find yourself at age 35 with student loans that have ballooned to $80,000 at 8.94% APR, the maximum federal rate. The accruing interest alone is $596 per month. That's not what you need to pay off the loan. That's what you need just to keep the balance from growing further. But there's one piece of good news. You are finally starting a career that is AI-proof and pays around $55,000 per year at entry level. There is no massive jump in salary, but the pay seems to increase by 3% per year throughout your career. You tell yourself, I need to turn my life around big time, or else tomorrow I'll be 65 with nothing to show for it. Here is what your quest looks like over the next 30 years. Level 1. The new hire in debt. The night before your first day of work, you take out your computer, open Excel, and calculate that your take-home pay will be around $3,800 per month. You remember how you lived during your struggling 20s? And decide that you can get by on $1,800 a month and put the remaining $2,000 toward paying off your student loans. Whenever your pay increases, your debt payment will also increase. You close your laptop, go to bed, and fall asleep in a mix of unease, anticipation, and hope. You live a difficult life for 4 years. Your peers make fun of you for wearing secondhand clothes and driving a beat-up Honda Civic. You simply accept it and keep grinding. Every month you check your balance and see the number shrinking. The more balance you pay off, the faster it drops. It falls to $62,000 on your 36th birthday, then to $42,000 on your 37th birthday, then to $19,000 on your 38th birthday. A few months before your 39th birthday, you make the final payment, and the balance goes to zero. You actually have a few bucks left over that month, so you start an emergency fund and decide to put $2,000 a month into it until you turn 39. On your 39th birthday, you find that your emergency fund has $5,500 in cash. That's enough to cover your expenses for 2 to 3 months. You're now better prepared than the 53% of Americans who cannot afford a $1,000 emergency expense, and the 54% who do not have enough savings to cover 3 months of expenses. You are also 6 years ahead of schedule. The average student loan borrower does not pay off their loans until age 45. You managed to do it before turning 39. Level 2. The new investor. You are 39. Your salary has risen to $61,000 per year. You are starting your investment journey. You have no debt, and you have 3 months of living expenses in your emergency fund. It's time for phase 2. You have no idea how to analyze investments, so you decide to do what you are good at, living frugally. You open a brokerage account and arrange for automatic deductions of 50% of your take-home pay into a combination of index funds and bonds, expected to return anywhere from 6% to 10% per year. You also make a plan to reinvest all dividends and not touch the portfolio, except in 3 circumstances. 1, you need to buy a car. 2, you need to buy a house. 3, your child needs to go to college. You set aside another 5% of your take-home pay for your emergency fund, because you know that you will eventually need about 6 months of expenses to be on the safe side. Then you keep grinding away for the next 6 years. Level 3. The mid-career professional. You are 45. Your salary has risen to $76,000 per year. You check your nest egg balances for the first time in years. Your investment account now holds between $236,000 and $278,000. Your emergency fund has grown to $11,000, nearly 6 months of expenses. You decide that you can stop adding to the emergency fund. Your car also breaks down, and there's no way to repair it, so you replace it. You liquidate $10,000 from your investments and buy a secondhand car in cash by the end of the week. It's a 10-year-old Honda Civic with 80,000 miles that will likely run for another 20 years. There's also a new potential purchase on the horizon. Your family has been asking when they are going to have their own home because they are anxious about rising rent and increasingly expensive mortgage rates. Just wait, you say. I have a surprise for all of you. Level 4. The homeowner. You are 50. Your salary is $88,000 per year. You have anywhere between $450,000 and $574,000 in your nest egg, roughly $500,000. You look up property prices in your area and decide that you and your family can settle for a modest 2-bedroom house. You have dinner table conversations about the money in your nest egg and why it is better to pay cash for everything rather than take on a mortgage. You explain that you would liquidate part of the portfolio to buy the house outright. Everyone agrees. You browse Craigslist and find an inconspicuous 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in a safe area of your city listed for $200,000. Very boring. Perfect match. So you liquidate $200,000 from your portfolio, contact the seller, and write a check to the realtor in full. There is no down payment. There is no mortgage. The realtor looks at you as though you have grown a second head. And just like that, you become a homeowner. You set aside part of what used to be rent money for maintenance and invest the rest. You are now investing 65% of your income instead of the already ruthless 50%. You go back to work the next day after the sale closes as if it were no big deal. Your portfolio balance drops to somewhere between $250,000 and $374,000, but you no longer have to worry about rent. It takes just under 2 years for your portfolio to recover to its pre-home purchase level. Also, this is a bit awkward. You are both late and early. At 50, you are late because the average age of a first-time home buyer is 40, but you are early because the average age at which people pay off their mortgage is 62. Level 5. The wealth accumulator. You are 55. Your salary is $102,000 per year. The house is running well, and your portfolio now sits somewhere between $735,000 and $1.1 million. You still live frugally just as you did in your late 30s. The difference is that your investments are now generating anywhere between $44,000 and $110,000 in passive income each year while you sleep. Your fixed costs are around $35,000 per year, and you realize that your passive income has exceeded your expenses. This is not just having options. This is financial freedom. With this newfound freedom, you think to yourself, meh, I might as well take this all the way and keep grinding. Level 6. The near retiree. You are 60. Your salary is somewhere around $120,000 per year. Your portfolio sits between $1.3 million and $2.1 million. You still live in the same house you bought 10 years ago. A few years back, you needed a roof repair that cost $5,000. You used your emergency fund for the first time. The balance dropped to $5,000. So you saved 5% of your take-home pay to rebuild the fund back to $10,000 over the next couple of years. Your child is also starting college. Life has come full circle. You suggest that your child attend an honors college at a decent state university instead of a more expensive private liberal arts college, and supplement the experience with summers abroad. You tell your child to avoid student loans, and you liquidate about $35,000 from your portfolio each year for 4 years to cover tuition. Your child does not attend college in luxury. They live the same kind of simple life that you did in your 20s. The difference is that your child graduates debt-free. You have broken the cycle. Level 7. Last day of work. You are 65. You made it. Your final year's salary is $137,000. Your peers have moved into management or executive suites and earn 2 to 3 times your salary with higher expenses to match. You are leaving work today with anywhere between $2.0 million and $3.7 million in your portfolio. You and your family live on $66,000 per year. The returns from your investments are now between $120,000 and $370,000 per year. You are a retired multimillionaire, but that does not stop your car from breaking down on your way home from your last day of work. The mechanic says there is no way to fix it, so you go to a used car dealership the next day and pay cash for another 10-year-old Honda Civic.
Hi, I'm the video creator. I'm brand new to doing this, so thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe.